What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers for another tips and predictions video. The Premier League is back in action at the weekend with some more delicious matchups up and down the table. Arsenal host Manchester City. Liverpool go to Bournemouth. And of course, it's the Graham Potter Derby on Monday. But let's get the lights up on the video. Of course, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for being here. I want your predictions in the comments below. And gamble responsibly out there, people. Always remember, you don't have to structure your bets the same way as I do, and I can't say it enough. Check the lineups. Wait for lineups, because you never know when it's going to change, who's going to play, who's going to score, shots on target, etc. Well, the Champions League was not awesome for me, but I did get a couple of wagers in the bag, so we are still alive, still surviving, of course. The day went about like we thought it might in the end, despite some dramatic moments, and the Champions League will return soon, of course, but it's time for us to dive right into the weekend's action. First up is Nottingham Forest hosting Brighton. At the time of the research, the positive odds for a Forest win at home versus Brighton seem kind of wild. Forest will definitely win the game. Brighton are open and like to attack, but are struggling up front at the moment. Chris Wood will be getting some shots in for sure. Looks like Hudson-Odoi might still be out, so we'll take Matoma to get some shots in on the Brighton side. Forest will be looking to get back on track in this one. I expect them to counter well into the space left in behind by Brighton's attacking style. I think this one suits Nuno and the gang quite nicely. Therefore, your safe bet is the Forest money line, and your feeling froggy bet is going to be the Forest money line. Chris Wood to get a shot on target, and Matoma to get 2 shots. Next up, Bournemouth hosting Liverpool. This one will be spicy. One I'm definitely looking forward to. Bournemouth are coming off a resounding win over a strong Forest side and have been taking scalps left and right at home this season, not to mention the win at St. James's Park. Liverpool, on the other hand, did rest most of the starters against PSV. So we'll be back to near full strength for the trip to the coast. Look for Ouattara to have at least 1 shot on target, as well as whomever starts in the 9 for Liverpool. If it's Diaz and Gakpo again, I would lean towards Gakpo for 1 on target. They seem to move back and forth where I can never predict who's going to be down the middle and who's going to be on the left for more of the game. But Gakpo has gotten shots on target more consistently than has Diaz, so I would go with Cody Gakpo. But as always, wait for the lineups, because he did play against PSV, which means he might be rested against Bournemouth, but I doubt it. It will be a tough game for them. And, of course, the money is on Salah to get some shots in as well. Your money line here is actually tough to call. Maybe that's hopium. I don't want to believe, but Bournemouth are tough customers at home, so your safe bet is both teams to score, and your feeling froggy bet is going to be both teams to score. Ouattara to get a shot on target, Mo Salah to get 2 shots, and then Gakpo or Diaz to get a shot on target. And if you're feeling froggy, you can definitely add Justin Kluivert, who's been killing it, to get some shots in as well. Moving right along, Everton hosting Leicester City. Everton are certainly resurgent, still riding the new old manager bounce, feeling refreshed under David Moyes, it would seem. A good win away to Brighton last time out with some much more positive play than we're used to from Dyche's tactics will give them some confidence. While Leicester did beat Spurs last time out, let's not pretend that Spurs aren't horrendous at the present moment. It's been a torrid run for Van Nistelrooy, unfortunately, and I think that they will be going to Goodison at a bad time for them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be good for some shots, and Jamie Vardy should be feeling up for it, at least a single shot on target as well. Ndiaye could also be in for some shots after that Seagulls celebration last time out. Overall, Leicester are just poor, and Everton have elevated themselves recently. I'm looking for this run to continue, which means that your safe bet is the Everton money line. You're feeling froggy bet's going to be the Everton money line. Ndiaye to get 2 shots, Vardy to have a shot on target, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin to get 1 shot on target. Next up, Ipswich hosting Southampton. It's been a really tough run for both of these teams down at the bottom of the league. There's no doubt about it. But Southampton are very poor, and Ipswich are strongest at home. Yes, it is a massive 6-pointer that the Saints pretty much have to win if there's any hope left at all, which there isn't. But they do need to beat fellow strugglers. The same can be said for the Tractor Boys. but I just don't think it's that deep, as they say across the pond. The Saints are still the worst team we've seen for a while, and I think that Ipswich will have more than enough to get the job done. Liam Delap should be feeling good about his chances in this one, which means your safe bet is the Ipswich money line. You're feeling froggy bet is the Ipswich money line, and Liam Delap to get 1 or maybe even 2 shots on target. We're keeping it hot with Newcastle versus Fulham. This one is quite the intriguing matchup. I don't expect Newcastle to get blammed at home like that again, probably not even all season. They're going to be raring to go to put that one right. This game will be far different for Fulham than their last fixture as well. They will not get half the chances they had against United, so they better bring their shooting boots. I feel like there will be goals in this one, and I'm about as sure of that as I am that Newcastle will win, so it's an interesting one, but definitely looking for Isak to get a shot on target as well as Raul Jimenez. He did let me down last game, but took like 4 or 5 shots that were wildly off target, so either are probably good for the Mexican. That means your safe bet is the Newcastle money line. Your feeling froggy bet is going to be both teams to score, Isak a shot on target, and Jimenez for a shot on target. Aston Villa are going to Wolverhampton. Wolves have seemed an odd club to me so far this season, but they have been really poor defensively. I do like Cunha and Geddes and the big man Larson up front. I still feel that Gary O'Neill got a bad rap there, and when Pereira came in, nothing really changed. They've only given 1 less goal than Southampton this season. All that to say that Villa will win this game, even after the exertion of the Champions League on Wednesday. Wolves are poor and Villa are flying high despite being good for a Champions League hangover. Because of the Champions League, I'm not going to say it's a blowout. Celtic did push them all the way despite the goals in the end. Watkins should get a shot on target, and your hat-trick hero, Mr. Morgan Rogers, will get at least 2 shots in general. We're looking for Cunha to get a single shot on target at least as well. That makes your safe bet the Villa money line, and you're feeling froggy bet. The Villa money line, Cunha 1 shot on target, Watkins 1 shot on target, and Morgan Rogers to have 2 shots. Moving right along, Brentford are looking strong, and Spurs, well, Spurs are not. They are on a torrid run, and I'm frankly shocked that Big Ange is still in the job. The game against Elfsborg will have them looking leggy, even though they did get the 3-0 in the end, and Brentford will be nice and rested. Mbeumo and Wissa, maybe even Sharda will be getting shots in this one. Spurs are wide open, so this game will be basketball. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Kulusevski should have some shots in, and you certainly want to wait for the lineups, but if you're feeling froggy, Youngman's son could get some shots in too. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying this horrible Spurs team at the moment, but that aside, the Bees at home are going to be way too tough for Ange and the gang. That makes your safe bet the Brentford money line. You're feeling froggy bet's going to be both teams to score. Mbeumo with 1 shot on target, Yohan Wissa with 1 shot on target, and Kulusevski with 2 shots. Up next, Manchester United hosting Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. United went to Romania on Thursday, so will most likely have a slight hangover in this one. Palace will be well rested for their trip to the Theatre of Dreams. This one will be interesting to see who has more of the ball. I expect Palace to let United try to break them down, which will not be good for United. I'm looking at Mateta and Sarr and even Eze for offensive production on the break. Mateta should get a shot on target, and the other 2 will get shots in as well. Amad Diallo is really the only one I would back to get shots in for United. The rest are kind of erratic. Højlund has actually been awful. We bet him last week and discovered just how poor his numbers actually are, so we're staying away. Despite the relative form and environment around both clubs, I'm not brave enough to say Palace will win at Old Trafford. However, I'm much more certain that both teams will score. Your safe bet? Both teams to score. Your feeling froggy bet is both teams to score. Amad Diallo to get 2 shots. Mateta with a shot on target. Sarr with a shot on target. And Eze to have 2 shots. Alrighty. Arsenal hosting Manchester City. Here we have the big one of the weekend with massive importance for the Arsenal. A month ago, I would have been much more confident about this one, but with the City resurgence of late and their Champions League survival, I feel it's evened out a bit. Not to mention that Arsenal will not follow the blueprint other teams have to beat City this season. But conversely, neither will Pep employ the format that's out there to defeat Arsenal. That makes this one seem like another drab stalemate to me. Haaland will have a shot on target, and Havertz will miss 2 shots. That's for sure. I'm not confident we can keep them out, and I'm praying we can find goals in this one. I'm a bit too scared to predict the money line, even though I think this is probably a very good opportunity to beat City at home. Also, if Ethan Nwaneri starts at right winger for the Arsenal, which he should, he will get at least a shot in. So that makes your safe bet both teams to score. Your feeling froggy bet will be both teams to score. Kai Havertz with 2 shots, Erling Haaland with a shot on target, and Ethan Nwaneri to have a single shot at least. Alrighty, we've made it to the Graham Potter Derby. The prodigal returns to the bridge in our final Prim game of the match week, and it's Chelsea versus West Ham. Chelsea have been decent at home and are in okay form at the moment. They haven't had to play midweek, so they should be nice and fresh. West Ham are playing better under Potter, but still aren't amazing despite a great draw at Villa last time out. Sanchez is a liability in the goal for the Blues, no denying it, so I'm thinking the Hammers will get on the score sheet in this one. The lineup for West Ham is a bit of a mystery at the moment. Wait for it, of course. I think the most nailed on for shots is going to be Paquetá. Kudus has been down the middle a bit as well, so we could have some shots. But the way they rotate up top in the last couple of games has me shying away from Kudus. It was really weird. Of course, Cole Palmer will have a shot on target, and Nico Jackson should get at least 2 shots as well. I'm feeling like Chelsea should win the game, but there's a lot of drama surrounding this one. Therefore, your safe bet is both teams to score. You feeling froggy bet is the Chelsea money line. Jackson 2 shots, Palmer with a shot on target, and Paquetá with 2 shots. Alrighty, people, we're moving right into, you know what time it is. I do love a Friday bet. Werder Bremen are playing Mainz, and I do expect both teams to score. Over in Italy, Parma are hosting Lecce, and once again, I expect both teams to score. And in France, Montpellier are hosting Lens. Lens are going to win the game, so it's the money line there. Alrighty, we'll move right into some La Liga action. Getafe versus Sevilla. Getafe on a tear recently, and Sevilla have been quite poor this season. Both teams are going to score. Villarreal versus Valladolid. Lots of goals for Villarreal. Lots conceded for Valladolid. Means the Villarreal money line. Atletico versus Mallorca. Despite a decent season from Mallorca, Atletico Madrid will win. Pick the Atletico money line. Espanyol hosting Real Madrid. You guessed it, the Real Madrid money line. Barcelona are definitely going to beat Alaves, so it's the Barcelona money line. Valencia hosting Celta Vigo. 2 bad teams means I expect goals. We're going both teams to score. Athletic Bilbao should beat Real Betis if you're feeling froggy, but they've been in poor form, so I might just go with both teams to score in that one. Alrighty, over in Germany, Dortmund, despite being in poor form, will beat Heidenheim. Bayern Munich are going to annihilate Holstein Kiel. You're not going to get any value in the money line, so you're looking at Harry Kane to score or get shots on target. Probably the over 3.5. You're going to want to wait for lineups in that one. St. Pauli hosting Augsburg seems spicy. Both teams are going to get on the score sheet in that one. Stuttgart is hosting Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's going to be too close to call, but I do expect goals. We're going both teams to score in that one. Freiburg should beat Bochum if you're feeling froggy, because it is an away day for Freiburg, which they've not been awesome, but you want to go to the money line there if you're feeling froggy. Union Berlin are hosting Leipzig. Despite a poor run from Leipzig, I do expect them to win. You're picking the money line there. Frankfurt versus Wolfsburg will be a fun one, and both teams are going to score. And that just leaves Bayer Leverkusen to defeat Hoffenheim. Alrighty, over in Italy, Udinese are going to beat Venezia at home. Atalanta likewise will beat Torino at home. Bologna should beat Como at home, but it's going to be tough. That's a feeling froggy bet for sure. Juventus money line over Empoli is definitely where you're going to want to go with that one. Fiorentina are hosting Genoa. It should have goals. We're going both teams to score. It is the Milano Derby this weekend. It's going to be very spicy. You're going to want to wait for the lineups, but the fantasy numbers are probably going to be pretty good. Pulisic should have some shots, as well as whoever starts up top for Milan last time out. It was Alvaro Morata. If Lautaro Martinez starts as well, he's definitely going to get at least one shot on target. I'm kind of unsure about the money line. I'm unsure about both teams to score. I'm kind of unsure about the over-under just because Inter Milan's defense is so flippin' strong this season. I think you're going to want to stick to the fantasy numbers in this one. So we're waiting for the lineups, looking at Pulisic and Lautaro, etc. Roma are also hosting Napoli. That's going to be spicy, but I expect Napoli to win. Napoli money line in that one. Lazio should deal with Cagliari, but it is an away game. So perhaps if you are feeling froggy, we're going to get that one in as well. We got some action over in France. Paris are going to beat Brest. That's nailed on. Monaco are poor, but Auxerre are even worse. Monaco money line. Lille is hosting Saint Etienne. Lille are flying high and will definitely win this one after their 6 goals against Feyenoord. I do expect Marseille versus Lyon to be a spicy one, so it's going to be both teams to score in that one. Moving right along into Holland, Zwolle is hosting Utrecht. Both teams are going to score in that one. Heerenveen versus Fortuna Sittard. Both teams are going to score there. PSV are definitely going to win their game, so you pick the money line there. Ajax are hosting Feyenoord on Sunday. It's going to be spicy. Both teams will score. Alkmaar should beat Willem second, but Willem are really weird. They've had a couple of horrendous losses, but also a fantastic draw at home to Feyenoord. So if you're feeling froggy, AZ Alkmaar money line. And last but not least, we're doing a combined one of Portugal and Scotland this weekend. Sporting Lisbon and Benfica and Celtic and Rangers are all very big favorites. So if you put them all together, they're all going to win. You might actually get some decent odds. Again, that's Sporting to win, Benfica to win, Celtic to win, and Rangers to win. And then on Monday, Braga and Porto are playing. It's kind of the same situation, but you can put them together and you will get maybe some improved odds. But you're picking the money line for Porto and Braga as well. Alrighty, folks, that wraps it up for another tips and predictions video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, get the likes up for some spicy ones out there. Lots of value, people. Remember to gamble responsibly. Remember to check lineups so we're not making mistakes in that regard. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I do appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Crunke out. So am I.